Hey guys, only a few games left of the Stanley Cup Finals.
2-5.
2-5. Maybe even less at this point, depending upon when you're watching it.
Right.
We recorded this on a Monday. But hey, I just want to throw this out here. If you want to get in on the action before the game starts, live and play, how your favorite player performs, doing it right since 1997. You know Sports Interaction is Canada's sportsbook. Join now to see that all that sports betting has to offer. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That is sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, and please play responsibly. John Tortorella, coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. It seems apropos, doesn't it?
It sounds right.
It feels right. And apparently, according to John, it's exactly what he wanted. So he said back in 2004, we were fortunate enough. I was coaching Tampa, and we went through Philly to win the Stanley Cup, beating the Philly in the conference finals. And I remember telling my wife, man, this is a place I would love an opportunity to be and coach. The passion of the people, the building, everything about the city, it was neat for me. I remember my first meeting with Chuck when we started this. He wore a shirt with the emblem, and I said, man, that's where I want to be. And even though the Flyers are not playing like the Flyers should, like they're not playing the Flyers brand.
They will.
He coaches the Flyers brand, does he not?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. The Flyers, I'm telling you, they're going to make a bunch of moves this offseason, and a lot of the stat heads are going to be like, that's fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And, like almost every decision. And John Tortorella is going to do what John Tortorella does and drag them to a wild card spot or something. with like the worst looking team you've ever seen on paper and an overachieving goalie.
They've said that Chuck Fletcher said that he liked the fact that Torts has a rap sheet for being. Excuse me. He likes the fact that Torts has a reputation for being demanding. And essentially, here's what he said about it. Chuck Fletcher, that is. Ultimately, he said players will respond if they know you're demanding. But if you're demanding in a sense that you care about them, you want what's best for them, you're not demanding for yourself, blah, 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 bunch of word salad. But essentially what he's saying is, too, we're not going to keep players here that won't live up to those. Structure is going to be a huge focus. They talked about that. Defense comes first, not at the expense of offense, but ask Patrick Laine about that. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I think is going to be very interesting is where Carter Hart finds himself through this.
Because goalies got to stop the damn puck.
Goalies do well in the Tort system. Hello. Goalies do really well.
Set that off.
Goalies do well in the Tortorella system. I mean, you look at what happened with Columbus and their goalies, right? Great development.
Yep.
2 good goalies. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Does Carter Hart become the Carter Hart we thought he might be able to be?
Yeah, but you got to get him a friggin' backup. You got to get him a good backup who I think he might be a little too old for the whole mentor thing, but just someone calm who can play games and not be shitty. Like, it feels like that should be somewhat easy to find. Someone to split the net with him. Someone who understands that it's going to be Carter Hart's net one day, but wants to actively keep the net away from him. You got to have a goalie who wants to play.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they're not going to undermine him, but they want to outperform him. Get a goalie to compete with Carter Hart. John Tortorella is going to be challenging Carter Hart every day. Well,
and Cam Atkinson, who tweeted, by the way, you made that joke about Cam Atkinson, is probably like, no! Apparently they're actually really good friends, and he or not friends, but Cam now enjoys playing for Torts. And he said,
behind the scenes, I've heard nothing but rave reviews from players who play for him.
He said, I think it all starts with practice. You practice how you play, and that's especially when I turned pro, I learned that from John Tortorella. And Tort said, when I got to Columbus, Cam was being sat out. I'm not sure what happened. Cam was stubborn, and I like his stubbornness. I think players of that quality, what he has to do with his size, is a player in the NHL that can be top notch. So there's a little bit of love there. And Tort said there's more there with Kevin Hayes. And I thought this was interesting.
Really tough season for Kevin Hayes.
Chuck Fletcher, yeah, of course, considering what happened with Familial.
Yeah.
But the one thing I thought was the most interesting at all this, because I'm reading the Broad Street Hockey sort of breakdown, but I watched the press conference, and my thing was the Flyers have acted like not only are they going to be playoffs, but they're going to be a top tier team for 3 years now. Every year, Chuck Fletcher, I mean, he's been there, what, 2.5? I can't even tell, but every year they come out.
The one?
No, has it been just the one?
I think so.
Okay, well, whatever. There's a lot of bluster coming out of Philadelphia, big signings, and, some big moves with Ellis last year and whatever. And
Fletcher was named general manager in 2018.
Yeah, I thought so.
Of the Flyers?
Of the Flyers. And then
Because he signed the Hayes deal and the Ellis deal.
He was general manager 2018 to present. Then he was executive vice president plus GM 2018 to 2019. So the same time he signed those deals. And then president of hockey operations 2019 to present. So he's GM and president of hockey operations, Chuck Fletcher, since 2018/19.
Damn. Can I chalk that one up to COVID?
Yeah.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Of course. Like what? But
Go ahead,
like
Adam.
you don't have to know that. Like it's.
Yes, I do.
You don't have to know that. And
Yes,
you don't
I
have,
do.
You don't have Google in front of you right now. But Fletcher's been there a while, and it's blustery, right? Before the season starts, they're always like, "Let's go," and that's why I think Flyers fans are so upset because it's like you've told us to get amped up for this team, and you've sold us bullshit. It's been a terrible. This is not Philadelphia Flyers hockey. And Torts in the press conference said, "Temper your expectations. It's not. We're not there yet."
I think they're going to go out and buy again this offseason. And I think they'll kind of be better by default because Ryan Ellis played 4 games.
Yeah.
I have more fingers on my right hand than Ryan Ellis played games.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean Couturier as well coming back.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just going to be healthier. And I think just overall, everybody's going to play better just by default, new head coach. And then Chuck Fletcher, because he can't help himself and has too much money because the ownership decides to give him all this money, he's going to go out and buy. They might sign Nazem Kadri. And all of a sudden, they're in a wild card spot.
It's one thing when your team's trash. It's another thing when your team underachieved. I would file the Flyers under they underachieved based on the way they're.
I think they were trash and underachieved.
I mean,
I think they were bad.
Rasmus Ristolainen was
Whoa,
not a great
disaster move.
You know,
it was. I think.
Oh, that's good. You know what? How he plays under Torts is going to be fascinating.
It's going to be fascinating. But I think the Philadelphia Flyers. Under the main dish is underachieved, and there's trash to dip it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I think they're more.
There's more there. And what could they get this year? They could bring Johnny Gaudreau close to home.
Potentially.
They could bring, unless he goes to Jersey, they could bring Nazem Kadri in on a big fat contract. They could do a bunch of things that could really change the trajectory. For me,
under Torts, huh?
Oh yeah. Problem I have is their defense, man. Their defense. Alice got to be healthy. Ristolainen's. I don't understand the dissonance with Rasmus Ristolainen because you've got people who are into stats where like this guy is really he's just a guy. And then you've got people within the game who are like, he's great. Look at this big fat extension we're going to sign him to and give up a first round pick. Buffalo was like that. Now Philly's like that. Where is he? What is he?
I think with Ristolainen, you see all the tools. We've seen him score highlight reel goals. He's big. He's nasty. The tools are there. His decision making is interplanetary. Like I don't know why he does half the things he does, and it leads to horrendous numbers against. It leads to his team getting outshot when he's on the ice, getting outscored when he's on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that is the way he was developed in Buffalo, in my opinion. Look at the leaps and strides that Rasmus Dahlin made in season this year. Because Buffalo, like in one fell swoop, started to pull their heads out of their ass.
Yep.
So I think a big reason Ristolainen is the way he is a lack of
development or anything in Buffalo in the last decade
or anything. Right. And Torts, who knows? Maybe Torts looks at the skill set that Ristolainen has and he goes, give me that. I could have some fun with that. The one thing I'm going to say, and I did criticize the Flyers about this, I remember many months ago. Ryan Ellis is out of the lineup. Yeah. You knew that might happen, man. If any player might get hurt. This player who has been hurt often in recent memory might get hurt and did.
And he's in his 30s.
That's your fault. Like I have sympathy for him. Mm-hmm. I have sympathy for Ryan Ellis.
Sure.
Seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
I don't have sympathy for the Flyers for having to go through that. You knew that was potentially going to be a problem. And there it was. So when you say when you go through how the Flyers can do better next season, and you're like, well, Ryan Ellis has to be healthy. Okay, well then they're fucked. Like you're leaving way too much up to chance.
Yeah.
You got to go out and support Ryan Ellis.
Yeah, you mentioned their back end there, Adam, and how that needs to be better. You need guys like Provorov and Sineham to take the next step. Like, it's about time. You're 25, 26. It's either you're gonna be there and you're gonna be the stalwarts on the back end that we need you to be and take this team to the playoffs, or like we're gonna give up on you.
I think Provorov's
it's about
gone.
time.
I think he's gone with a capital G.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's a big contract, $6.75 million for the next 3 years. So they're gonna find somebody who's gonna be a taker, but it's an interesting move if they want to get rid of him. There's piece you can get a lot of pieces back for.
Yeah, I'm gonna say whispers, not rumblings, but yeah, Provorov whispers.